Wow, it's been a minute since I pulled the camera out. I don't even know where to start. It feels weird, to be fair, but we'll get back on it, I'm sure. Currently, I'm going to give you the date and the time which my watch is charged. Sunday the 10th of August, 5 to 10. So, quick summary. I've been in Wales, I was back in Stoke. I haven't recorded anything at all, so this is me now pulling out the camera again. Been to Wales for the weekend, and we're on a pub stop in Cheshire, and I'm with Stu, which he is over there parked up. He's in bed. I thought this would be a good, suitable time. I managed to record the footage coming down, which you would have seen before me speaking now. I'll quickly show you the pub stop. And then we'll go from there. So it's called the Broughton Arms, and if I can bring that down, there's the van, and then we've got a canal right on your door, which is lovely. You just have to have a drink or some food. We end up having a drink, so you can just park here for the night. Let me just close the door, and then I'll come back to what I was saying. Just because the flies are now coming in. So yeah, I'm on a pub stop in Cheshire. We've come from Wales, me and Stu have, and that's pretty much it. I was going to get into the explanation of the recording and the videos and where they've gone, because I've just disappeared and I've had loads of messages saying, where have you gone? I do apologise. The first week of me not recording, I wasn't well. And then the second week was a blur. And then the week after that, I was in Wales with my dad because he had a bowling competition. And I should have pulled the camera out. And I'm not making an excuse saying I didn't have time, because there's always time to put the camera up. I was doing too much and that much that I just completely thought, right, I'll just pick up the camera when I get a chance. But then I've realised I should just pull the camera out when I'm not really doing anything. And then some days I've not done anything. I thought, there's no point me pulling out, because you guys are going to be bored of watching me just doing this. But I thought maybe that's what you want to see also, is the days where I'm not actually doing much. So yeah, I've summarised all that. Been to Wales, back here. I was in Stoke for a bit. I had a few meetings and bits and bobs of other stuff, live stuff. Update on the van. I've got a vent in the back on the door now, which I did, say, 2-3 weeks ago. I've got a different freezer to the last freezer which I've got, which I'm going to show you down here. Let me just turn it. As you can see, let me just turn it a little bit more. You don't want my legs in the frame. The last freezer I showed you, the one where I had that heat wave and I was in Snowdonia, it was awful. So I ended up getting an Alpicool, which is so much better. So we've now got a new freezer. We've also had a new battery. We've had a 280 amp hour lithium LifePo 4, I believe it is, and that battery is a beast. I barely even, and when I say I use it, I'm literally trying to use the battery up, and I use no more than say 12% of the battery, and then it's fully charged the next day anyway. But yeah, I've had to get a new one because the old one decided to just crap itself. So new battery, vent, freezer. There's not really much more. I've been a few places, but nothing like too crazy. I've just had a very chilled couple of weeks. I've been obviously in the van full time still, but I slept outside my mum's for a week just gone. So yeah, I thought I would pull the camera out. Blue is here. Let's see if he can actually, he's been sleeping for about 2 hours. Want to say hello? Want to say hello? Want to say hello? Not bothered. Just sleeps. He's had his dinner, haven't you? You've had your dinner. And you had some ham. He's in for his nails on Thursday by somebody who watches me on YouTube, I believe. I can never, Sarah? No, can't remember the name. Sorry, I do apologise. And when did you have your flea treatment? You had his flea treatment the other day again as well. So Blue's all good. He's fine. The usual, eat, sleep, poo. I'm good. Anything else? That is pretty much it. I just thought I'd pull the camera out tonight just to give you an update, and then the videos are going to start rolling again, and I'm going to be on the content grind like every day now. I'm going to London on the weekend. What, we on here 5 minutes? Don't want to ramble on too much, don't want to bore you. Going to London on the weekend with my brother and a few of his mates on Saturday, so I'm hopefully going to get a little bit from that, but don't expect too much of me recording in London because it might just be a crazy day. But I'll get a few snippets if I can, and then I'm straight back, and then I'm flying hopefully over to Ireland to see the family. So that should be a good little thing. I can show you where I'm off and where I'm going. And then as soon as I get back, it's going to be a very, very, very busy month. So from September, I want to try and get either to the lakes or to Scotland or down south. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to be trying to go to different places. Anything else? I'm trying to think. No, that's pretty much it. The van needs new brake pads, which I'm going to try and get done this week, if I can. I handed the freezer into Amazon because the old one, obviously, I said it was rubbish. Still haven't had my money back off Amazon for that. And that's about it. So I'm going to hit the hay very soon because it's coming up to 10 o'clock by the time I get in bed and stuff. It's going to be 11 because I scroll Facebook. And I will pull the camera out first thing in the morning. So good night, and catch you in the morning. Good morning. It's about 10 o'clock. Got woken up to the dog spewing in the van, which was nice. But luckily, to be fair, I could hear him making a noise, and I was just lying in bed this morning, scrolling the phone, and then he kept going. I was like, he's going to be sick. So I managed to get him down, and he managed to do it on the hard floor. So it was pretty, well, I've just cleaned it up, took 2 minutes. But yeah, I don't know why he was sick, because I've not fed him anything differently, unless it's the heat, because sometimes obviously it's warm for him. So yeah, I'm still in this pub car park, as you can see. Let me move this. Ignore how I looked this morning, because I look terrible. There's the canal, and Blue is down there. It's just in the sun on the car park. So we'll be moving on pretty much in the next half an hour or so. Brush my teeth, make a brew, tidy the van, and then we're back into Stoke. I might go off and venture off somewhere close-ish, but yeah, there's not really much more. But I thought I need to start pulling out the camera, so here we are. I'm just checking he hasn't been sick in the bed. That would be a surprise, wouldn't it? But then he did lean over, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to check because I feel like he might have been sick somewhere. Because he was making the noise as if he was cleaning it up, because they do, don't they? But there's no, I can't see any. So yeah, it's 10 to 11 now. Stayed in bed for like an hour and a half. I didn't go to bed till late, but I'm gonna make a brew. And anything else? Is there anything else I wanted to say? Not really, I don't think so. I'll catch up with you guys when I am on the move. I'm very slow today because I just feel knackered. Don't know why. So yeah, I'll catch you all in a bit. So yeah, this Broughton Arms is it's quite a nice pub. Like I said before, it's a drink and you can stop over for free. So that is the Broughton Arms, and it's a Marston pub. It's got a lovely little beer garden. So if you were ever in that area, Staffordshire way, then I would definitely recommend checking it out. I'm back and I've made it back to Stoke. Well, I was already in Stoke, but I'm back at the house. Van's parked outside. Got doggies. Say hello, Finn. And then we've got Blue, which he is lying down at the moment. I'm literally just putting lunch in the air fryer. I'll show you what I've got now. I can't turn the camera on, can I? But I've got my air fryer here, and I put some pork belly, but it's a strip when you get it from the butchers, but I've just cut it into little like pieces so like the belly sort of goes crispy. So anything else I was going to say? I can't even remember now. So I'm just going to eat this, have a cup of tea, sort of just tidy the van up, and then I'm going to go back down to Stu at the pub tomorrow night, hopefully. I am going out later today with my brother to catch up. So yeah, it's just a chill day really. Weather's nice, sunny, and we've got the doggos. We've got the doggos. What? You're such a baby, aren't you? You're such a baby. Hey? Yes. Can't miss this one out, but Finley gets jealous. Hey? He's getting jealous. He's getting jealous. Oh. Hey, careful. You've got to be careful, because you're jumping around like a madhead and Blue's only tiny. So yeah, that's it really. Anything else I was going to say? No, that's it. So I'll see you all when I get round to doing the van and tidying it up. Afternoon. It's now Tuesday. I'm still in the van, as you can see. It's past 12 o'clock now. It's afternoonish time. I was up at 10. The dog needed the toilet, so I was up. Obviously I'm outside my mum's, so I just go in there and say morning and all that stuff. Sat in the garden for a bit because the weather's quite nice, but it keeps raining, so I don't know. And I thought, yeah, I'll chuck the camera out again. Just doing some few jobs. The van, I did the van yesterday. I completely like got it and tidied it and cleaned it, did all the floors, cleaned the rug, you know, like just jobs like that, changed the bed, and now it's the boring job of washing. So I'm just going to spend 10 minutes this afternoon, keep saying this morning, doing washing. And my hay fever today is terrible. So that is pretty much it. I'm going to get these jobs done. I'll do a little time lapse and I'll come back to you because I've had a few messages again regarding a talk through the battery and the electrics. So I'm going to go a bit more in depth and do a little video for that. So I'll keep this recording going and I'll just speed it up and there'll be some wacky, crazy music if I don't get copyrighted. So I'll see you all in a bit. Still wet. Shorts. Right. I'm back with an update, guys, regarding this. A lot of people have walked past, and I've had a lot of people, when I put photos on, saying, what is that green thing on the floor? So this is the Alpicool freezer. As you can see, it's 12 volt and it runs to my cigarette lighter, and it just runs under there and across there. The one I had before was a Bouge RV, I don't know how you pronounce it, but this is an Alpicool. Very good amount of space. As you can see, it's full. This freezer, one of my mates, another van lifer, had one, still has one, sorry, and I had the bouge, and it wasn't holding temperature. This one will drop to about, well, it can go to -20, but I've got it set to 18, and it just goes in and out, very low and economical, and I think it runs about 25-30 watts an hour, so it's nothing really. Obviously it's there, and then I've got my fridge and my freezer, and then another thing which I've done, which you haven't seen yet, is I've got a vent up here, so I can slide it across to close it and open it, but I can also close it and open it from the outside. It's completely wide open right now because of how warm it is. So that is the freezer. Electrics which are under the bed. So I'm going to go out the van and I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Right, I'm going to try and do this as best I can, but it's a very awkward angle. So the new battery is in. As you can see to the left, this is the battery. So that is a 280 amp hour lithium LiFePO 4. And then we've also got in the top right, I'll show you. We've got a new MPPT, which is Victron. All the blue ones sort of talk to each other. So this is the solar unit. So they've got solar coming into that, going out of that to the battery. Then I've got Battery Protect, which is this one. So that basically measures the battery voltage. And if it decreases below a certain amount, it'll sort of shut the load off, so I don't knacker the battery. The other blue one, this one, is a battery charger. So if I'm ever on site or I want to plug in to charge the battery, I can do that. The other one, this one, up here, that is a DC to DC charger. So the load from the alternator comes down into that, out of that, and into the battery. So when I turn the engine on, it basically charges the battery. Now, people have asked what solar panel I have. It's a 200 watt solar panel. This is a 7515 amp. So it's sufficient enough for me. It charges. Like I say, I wake up every day and I've got a full battery. This one down here, remove it. This is the inverter, which is a 5,500 peak inverter. This is basically changing 12 volt to 230, 240 volt. Sorry, the phone cut off. So yeah, this is the inverter. It changes 12 volt to 230, 240, so I can run household appliances. So I've got two plugs. This one runs to the kitchen, which runs the induction hob, and I've got a second plug, which is above us, which runs my tally and stuff like that. We've also got cut-off switches, circuit breakers around to cut things off if, say, the amperage is too high, so we don't have any electrical fires or any issues. The other main bits what people have asked is, because some people aren't familiar with electrics, negative and positive bus bar. Positive is red, negative is black, obviously. The negative bus bar is also earthed to the chassis of the van. So it's down here, this is the negative. So it saves me putting all my load on the battery itself. I can just run them to the bus bar. So it's effectively the battery terminals, if you want to think of it like that. This little one is my fuse board. So all my 12 volt are all fused individually on the fuse board, and then they run to the said appliance. And then down the bottom end, I don't know if you can see the 3 red switches there. They're the cut-offs, main cut-offs for DC, inverter, and the load. And that pretty much summarises the electrical system. I'll give you a little preview so you can see. But that's what it's looking like. There we go. Right, I hope you all enjoyed that little electrical tour. I didn't want to go too much in depth. I have named everything what's on that board, but some people just didn't understand what this was and what that was. I don't want to bore you and talk for 25 minutes, but if any of you have got a dedicated question regarding the electrics, then just give me a message and I can explain things. That is self-taught, So I've done that myself from scratch, with no real idea at the start. But once you do it, you sort of understand. It's but when people look at it, they go, that looks really complicated. But I think what makes it so complicated is the wiring structure. Because there's so many wires, it looks really, really confusing. When simply, I could really put it in simple terms here. The battery, so the red bar and the black bar, which are called buzz bars, you could eliminate them and you could have everything coming off the battery. So there you go, you've got two things off the board already. So that sort of takes a lot of it off, because I've got a negative and a positive wire coming from the battery to the buzz bar. So then them buzz bars are now live. Well, the positive is, sorry. It's sort of, don't want to complicate this too much, but it's sort of, it just saves you putting 8 million ring terminals and wires on your battery. That's basically the buzz bar. The circuit breaker, it's a 40 amp circuit breaker. Instead of putting a fuse in and having to do a little wire to a fuse and then another wire out, if you just got a circuit breaker, it'll just break the circuit. So it's effectively the same thing. I have fused the DC to DC charger because that's slightly different. That's fused on both ends because it's a bit more, how can I put it? There's more sort of power coming through it, amps power. I'm not familiar, I'm not an electrician, so I'm just sort of winging it here. But yeah, all the blue boxes are Victron now, so I managed to get the MPPT and a Victron as well, where before it was just a cheap knockoff one, which did the job, but it wasn't charging efficiently enough. So I managed to get a Victron one, so now it's all on an app. I know that I'm pulling in, said much, probably today about 140 watts or whatever. So yeah, it's I did that in about a week and a half. So I really studied the electrics, and touch wood, since I've been in this van, I've not had one issue except for the battery, but I knew that was going to go because it was an old battery. Another question, which I'll just answer quick time, but I don't want to ramble on because the video is going up to like 20 odd minutes, is people asked me what about the battery, about how powerful and what it would run. So going off what I know, I've plugged in a 1500 watt induction hob in the kitchen, and that battery will run that consistently, fully charged, for 3 hours. So that puts it in perspective of how big that battery is. Again, air fryer, it'll do that for 6.5. Air fryer runs at about 550 watts, 600 watts, it sort of fluctuates. And it'll run the fridge, the freezer, and the whole load in this van, minus the 230 stuff. And it'll do that continuously for 44 hours. So it's a fairly big battery. The other good thing, which I've mentioned on a TikTok, is that a lithium battery can discharge pretty much all of its battery, whereas a lead acid or a wet battery, or whatever we call them nowadays, can only discharge 50% of that battery. So you're not getting the full capacity out of a battery like that. But they're good for like starting off, and if you're just running like, say, a couple 12 watt appliances. But because I've built up so much and I've got so much running at the same time, all of my 9-10 things are live constantly, running. The battery is also Bluetooth, so you can monitor it, and it's got a temperature control. It tells you the run time of what it's currently pulling, what it's currently drawing, sorry. So it's a very good battery, and that is called, I'll put all the links in the description, but it's called a, stump me, a Life Po 4. What's the make of the battery? I'll put it in the description because I can't remember off the top of my head. Should know that. Eco Wavy, that's it. Eco Wavy battery. So if any of you are interested, it's not a sponsor or anything, I'm just saying that I do highly recommend getting one of them batteries, because I can watch TV, put the kettle on, fridge, freezer's running, lights on, charging phones. I can't even get down to, say, 80%. I'm literally using 12-15%, but I'm going to try and really test it and hammer it on the induction hob and see if it withstands me using it. But you're guaranteed, is it 15,000 cycles or 5,000? You're guaranteed so many cycles on a lithium, and it would last you for like 10-15 years realistically. So yeah, that's pretty much a summary of the electrics. The freezer I've talked about. I hope you guys get a bit more of an insight to what's happening under the bed. And yeah, it's currently Wednesday. I don't know if I mentioned that. The video will be out today, so that's why I thought a quick time I'll get this done. I'm going to head down to a pub stop tonight to see Stu. So I'll probably get a little bit of content, but my plan is now, just for the sake of the content side, is I'm going to put a video out every Wednesday. I'm not doing 2. I'm just going to say every Wednesday, and if I can do one every Wednesday, that's fine. But if I have more content and I put another one out in the week before Wednesday, then it will just go out. But I'm just going to stick to every Wednesday. If you're not all following me on any other social medias, I post regularly-ish on TikTok, which is that guy from Stoke, and also on Instagram. So I'm going to cut this video off any second now, because I'm going to sneeze. And I'll see you all next week. Take care and bye.